Neil deGrasse Tyson just revealed declassified photos from Venus by the Soviet Union. Did you know that Neil deGrasse Tyson recently made available Soviet-era Venus images that have been classified? Hold on to your telescope, space fans, for these images have never been seen before and are quite amazing. There are rumors that they provide some puzzling information about our hot neighbor Venus. What could be learned about this mysterious planet from these vintage photographs taken with Soviet cameras? Are we about to redefine our conception of the universe? Come along with us as we set out on an interstellar treasure hunt to unearth mysteries that have been buried among the stars for a long time. Venus needs to be given top priority, according to NASA. This comes after the planet's potential for life's recent discovery. If you were to look through NASA's archives from the 1960s, you would see that the space agency referred to Venus as a planet from hell. Mars became our fate at that same time. It is not an accident that the innermost planets have such meticulous labeling. The Soviet Union was focused on launching expensive expeditions to Venus during the volatile space race of the time. The Soviet space program did not terminate the Venera program until the fall of the Soviet Empire, despite the terrible planet having little to no chance of supporting life. Now, due to Neil deGrasse Tyson, we fully understand why. The collapse of the Soviet Union was dynamic in a number of ways. The fall of the empire not only altered the geopolitical landscape of the planet, but it also carried many secrets with it. It is well known that the Soviet Union had a strong love for secrecy, from conducting the most sophisticated espionage service in the world to keeping their potential contact with extraterrestrial life under wraps. The former powerhouse has many mysteries hidden within it. And it is true that the Soviet Union was in the lead before the United States of America took over the majority of the planetary space endeavors. The empire had a long history of successful and unsuccessful space operations, but its main focus was the inner hellish planet, Venus. It makes sense that the mission, which will last from 1961 to 1983, will be called Venera, since this is how Venus is known in Russia. It is impossible to pinpoint the exact reason the empire became fixated on the terrible planet. Since the Soviets ordered these exploratory expeditions during the Cold War, they were not precisely open about their intentions. In reality, unarchived and declassified evidence is the source of all the information we have concerning the Venusian missions. Even then, it is unclear exactly what the Soviets were looking for, or whether they were successful in their secret missions. Because, well, the empire did not land on Venus once, twice, or even 3 times. 28 expensive spacecraft were launched by the Soviets to the hellish planet, and 13 of them reached Venus's atmosphere, while the other 8 made successful landings. The empire was in a prime position to spearhead the space exploration program, thanks to such complex missions. When we look back at the Cold War era that developed after World War II and lasted until the 1980s, we see that the cosmic race started many decades ago. The space race that took place between the United States and the Soviet Union cannot be ignored. These two superpowers were competing against one another, each attempting to show that they were superior in both military and political, as well as technological and scientific spheres. One of the main battlegrounds for the struggle was the field of space exploration. Indeed, there were a lot of groundbreaking advances in space technology during that time. The race for space did not just revolve around exploring the vastness of space. It acted as a metaphorical stage on which these two countries displayed their scientific might and potential to the rest of the world. In particular, the Soviet Union was anxious to showcase its skills in this area. The successful launch of Sputnik, the first man-made satellite by the Soviet Union in 1957, was a turning point in history. The beginning of a new age in space exploration was truly signaled by this event. The 1961 launch of Venera-1 was the first mission in the enormous endeavor. Sadly, things didn't turn out the way we had hoped. Venera-1 missed Venus by a significant margin of 62,000 kilometers, failing to land there. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, demonstrated incredible resiliency by immediately reorganizing and launching Venera-2 the next year. The Venera-2 failed to reach Venus despite their best attempts, sharing the same fate as its predecessor. The third time, though, will undoubtedly be your lucky charm. The Soviets were not content with simply landing on Venus. They also desired a close-up picture of the planet. So, let us take a look at the 1975 launch Venera-9 and Venera-10 missions. These projects aim to launch Venus orbiters equipped with cameras to take pictures of the planet's surface. Both Venera-9 and Venera-10 successfully inserted themselves into orbit around Venus and sent down their landers. The first ever photographs of Venus taken from its surface were made possible by the cameras installed in every land below. These pictures showed a barren rocky terrain with a reddish color. The first photograph from Venera-9 was transmitted on October 22, 1975, and therefore there were more images sent. The photos provide insightful details about Venus's surface conditions, particularly the makeup and texture of the rocks. Furthering our knowledge of Venus's surface, Venera-10 also took pictures and sent them back to Earth. As they showed off the capacity to send a spacecraft to another planet, these missions were a key turning point in space exploration, successful landing, and visual data transmission. The successive Venera missions, such as Venera-11, Venera-12, Venera-13, and 14, kept sending back useful information and pictures of Venus. These missions brought cutting-edge instruments to investigate the planet's surface physical characteristics, atmosphere, and composition. Due to the fact that they deployed landers with color cameras, Venera-13 and 14, which were launched in 1981, were particularly noteworthy. In order to provide a more accurate and comprehensive depiction of the planet's topography, these landers took color photographs of Venus's surface. Together, the Venera missions provided crucial information on Venus, including information about its volcanic activity, surface temperature, atmospheric composition, and geological features. They gave us important information that advanced our knowledge of planetary formation, atmospheric dynamics, and the potential for life elsewhere in the universe. Despite the fact that we are yet unsure of the specifics of the recently declassified Soviet Union Venus photographs, it is likely that they would add to the body of knowledge already known about the planet. These images might be able to shed further light on Venus's atmospheric and geological characteristics, as well as possibly offer up some unexpected information about our mysterious neighbor. A noteworthy technological and scientific achievement was the Soviet Union's investigation of Venus during the space era. It enhanced our knowledge of planetary dynamics, deepened our comprehension of the cosmos, and set the path for upcoming missions to examine other celestial bodies, both within and beyond our solar system. Each new piece of information, whether it comes from newly published images or upcoming missions, advances our understanding of the cosmos and how we fit into it as we work to solve its mysteries. I will see you in the upcoming episode if you subscribe to Space Destiny.